Hi everybody, welcome to the Data Points instructional video on reviewing reports and Bulletin in Apricot. Let's begin with our Bulletin. The Bulletin is what you see when you first log into Apricot. You can think about it in two different sections. We have a few reports, and then we have a number of internal grants that tell you if the grant is open or not. Let's look at the reports. The first report you see at the top is the current household list. For any of these reports, you open them up by clicking on the small triangle next to the report name. The current household list gives you everybody who is currently assigned to your caseload. We're asking in February that you look through your current caseload, and if there's problems, people missing, or people that shouldn't be on the caseload, to contact your data lead. In family supportive housing, that's Tanisha, and single adult supportive housing, that's Kristen, and for affordable housing, that's me. The section underneath the current household is days since last contact. It's the same report, but with a column that tells you how many days it's been since the last case note you've entered for each individual. The report under that is the RS goals detail. This allows you to look at all of the residents with a completed, in progress, or if you have those with a not completed goal, this will show up here too. Again, you can click on the triangle and it will show you each of the residents in each of the categories. And then you can go further in by clicking on small triangles into the actual goal itself. From this report, you can go to the goal and change the status of the goal from completed to in progress or completed. The final report on my bulletin is the DBT positive relationships. This is a little different than the goals report above it. This just gives you a summary table of the number of households that have set a goal and completed a goal for each of these categories. So again, the bulletin is what you see when you first log into Apricot, but you can also access the bulletin from two additional ways. Anywhere in Apricot, when you click on My Apricot, it takes you back to the bulletin. Also, if you go to the left-hand section, you can go to My Bulletins, and again, it takes you to your bulletin. Let's look at reports. So everyone may see different reports depending on where you are in resident services, but all of us will have resident services section. So let's look at this section. The first report is the household list, which is the same report that you saw in my bulletin. You can access it in either place, you'll get the same information. The next two reports will be the reports that you use for your work plan progress tool. The RS services will give you details on the services year-to-date that you've provided to residents. The RS goals report will give you year-to-date status of the number of households that have set a goal and the number of households that have completed a goal. Look for videos coming up that will give you more information on how to run each of these reports, but feel free to go in and play with them right now. The next two reports are reports that we saw just on the bulletin, similar to the housing list. Again, you can access them in either place. You'll get the same information. Let's look at the RS support funds. This report gives you an update of what residents have received support funds year to date, or whatever date field you put into this report. So it's going to ask you to put in a date range and then your name, and then it will give you residents' names and the total amount of support funds they've received between that date range, and then it'll break it down in different categories. If you remember, this is going to be pulling, we're going to a case note quickly. This is information that you're putting into this field in the case note when people are accessing bus tokens, target cards, and other support funds. We'll go back to my reports. The last two reports will be used mostly for family supportive housing. The first is the housing wait list report. The second is a customized services and outcome report that allows folks who are working in areas that both have affordable housing and family supportive housing to be able to pull those numbers separately. So that would be Lola over at Fort Worth Flats, Kevin at PV. So those are reports that everyone in resident services has access to. The other two sections are specific to single adult supportive housing. So the reports that you are using, that you often use, will be found here. And then for youth services, the reports that often you'll be using will be found in this section.